Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing this makeup right here, which is very glam and out there and festive as it should be, because we have almost Christmas. Yeah, once again. And before we start, I want to say please excuse my voice and the way I look, because I had to blow my nose I think every 2 minutes the whole time I filmed, and right now my nose is running again. Of course, what's new? I have to lay down and recover because it's driving me insane. Now let's jump into the tutorial. I'm going to show you how I did look. I like to start with the eyes, so I'm first using a eyelid primer. This is from Lorac, Behind the Scenes is called, and I'm just patting this into my skin until it's very thin and it won't interfere with the eye look. It's just going to help it stay put. I feel like this eye primer needs to be set with a powder. This is what I'm doing. Just use any powder you have. I'm using the Tony Moly pressed powder, and I'm just going all over what I did so that, yeah, it's set and it doesn't move around. Then I'm taking this palette from L'Oreal, which is in Stylist, and I love the shades in it. I think it's beautiful, and I think it has a better quality than its brother. They came out with those palettes like last year, I think in summer or sometime around summer, and the green palette that contains greens and such, that wasn't good. I mean, in my opinion, that was a flop. And this one, I'm using it again the second time on my channel, and I took that medium brown and I'm placing this into my outer corner, but also I'm going outside with it in like a very smoked out way. And as you've seen, I also cleaned underneath. I'm doing this thing I always do when I want like a very graphic underline, when I want it to look like an eyeliner but not really. Yeah, just wipe away everything I don't like. I don't want it to be there. I was dying to use the blue in some kind of form, so I decided to put it underneath. I decided to do a very heavy under eye line, which is what I'm doing here, and I also do two flicks, like the outer corner and the inner corner ends in a very sharp flick. Again, I'm layering. I'm putting first the base layer, so to say, then I'm going with another one. I don't want to go too heavy from the beginning because sometimes I decide as I go how much I need and where to put more, where to put less, because I'm including in this explanation also foundations and concealers and blushers and basically all the products I'm using, I'm putting on my face or clients' faces. Then I took that shimmery kind of also browny shade, but it's a bit silvery. I'm not quite sure how to explain this color, but I think you can see it. Anyway, I smacked it on my lid space and I joined the outer corner with this shimmery shade. And then I took an eyeliner, which is from Max Factor, and from Maybelline, sorry. I really do like that one because it's so fine. You can do like a really small thin flick and liner, or you can do like this really thick, you know. And then I took a mascara, which is from Max Factor. This is from Max Factor, and I really did like this one. I've used it for years and years and I still enjoy it very much. For false lashes, I took those ones which I think are in Starlet from House of Lashes, but I'm going to check that and write it down below. And yeah, I placed that on my eyes, and then I went over the liner with a matte black eyeshadow, and I went over that liner because it was a bit shiny and I didn't like that. I mean, I feel like that liner is so good, but if you start putting 2-3 layers, then it becomes shiny. If you do just one swipe, then it's matte. It's a bit inconvenient, but I mean, for a drugstore option, it's really good, and that's why I'm still loving it. Now I'm going to leave the eyes and move to the base and finish my eyes later after I've done my base. Underneath my makeup, I always have to use something really hydrating because my skin is dry, normal to dry, very dry in winter. Just my forehead gets oily throughout the day. But for the rest of my face, I really need something very heavy duty moisturizing, and I've discovered a new product from La Roche-Posay which I've been enjoying for the past months, and I'm talking about the product I've showed you. It's called Hyalo Serum. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this correctly, but it contains hyaluronic acid, which is really good for a more mature skin like mine. And yeah, then I moved on. Of course, I'm missing everything. I put on foundation, which was from Revlon, and then I'm putting on concealer. One of my favorites, it's the It Cosmetics concealer. I just put a small amount because a small amount goes a long way, and I don't want it to crease on me because it does tend to crease. I mean, what concealer does not? But this one is on the creamy side, you know, more for mature skin, as I've said, and that means it's not drying underneath the eyes. So you need to set it and to not put too much because you can go overboard easily. This is very thick, you know, and if you apply your concealer as you've seen YouTubers applying it all over their faces, then yes, it's gonna crease. For powder, I chose the same one because I have it in my hand, and it's the Tony Moly pressed powder. And then I moved on to this palette, which is from Revolution Makeup, and I took this warmer shade, which is a bronzer, but I didn't like how it looks on my skin necessarily, and I've mixed it actually with the contouring shade, which was a bit more cool toned. And yeah, in the end, I mean, it's a bit streaky, this powder. It's like not very consistent. I do have a problem with it, a slight problem with it. I mean, it's not so good like the Benefit one, or even, I don't know, a L'Oreal one, but yeah, I mean, you can work with it. It also costs a lot less than a Benefit one, or maybe a L'Oreal one as well. But yeah, in this case, more money, more quality. And I placed that contouring shade underneath my cheekbones, just there, because I don't want to look like a corpse. I don't want to end up with a sallow looking face. And then I took the highlighter and I placed it on the highest points of my face, top of my cheekbones, top of my brows, between the brows, along the nose a bit, and yeah, Cupid's bow. I have now a bit of time, and I want to tell you, to make a disclaimer, I have another voice, you know, as I'm recording the voiceover. It's like 3 weeks after filming the video, and that's why I'm not sick anymore. But I mean, I'm not quite as new, but I'm gonna be there soon. It turned out I had a good old sinusitis, and I had to take antibiotics because everything that came out was green, and yeah, that was a sign of sinusitis. And I don't know why I'm saying this, because I know I'm being disgusting, but yeah, it's like this. That's why I'm sounding better. Let's move on now. For blush, I took a duo from Kiko, which I really do like. I've used it in a few of my tutorials, and I'm using it off camera. I'm going to take it with me for my holiday, which is yeah, the winter holiday. And just with any other makeup product, as I've said, I like to layer this one as well. I like to put like a base first, like a very blended base, like a lighter one, and then in the middle of it to place another layer, but more concentrated and just on the apples of my cheeks. And I just love the effect it gives. I was perfecting the blue line underneath my eyes and the flicks, and then I thought I need a bit of nose contouring because my nose felt so thick with the sinusitis and all, and I did the lines more straight. And I would say about this nose contouring, that's more for an evening out where it's just dim light, so there's not too much daylight. I mean, that's the problem. I always make a difference between day and night when it comes to makeup, because when you put more and more, it's going to be more and more visible if it's like daylight. For an evening out, you can go heavier or a lot heavier depending on your taste, because in a dimmer light the eye can be cheated in a way, you know. You can apply more and the eye is not going to perceive everything because it's how it is, and that's why we can go heavier for an evening out. Now I'm doing my brows. I'm using the same pencil from Benefit in the shade 5, and I'm going to go a bit more heavier this time on my brows, not because I wanted it, nope, and because it turned out like this. And this is just basically me, you know. Sometimes I keep my head in a tunnel And a friend of mine knows what I'm talking about, and I'm just, you know, I'm not there. And this happens sometimes when I'm so concentrated and I just don't pay attention around me, and it may be bad things sometimes, but for my brain it's like a, you know, taking a break for a few moments. Well, anyway, I'm here now, so let's move on. I tied line with the black track from MAC, and then in my waterline I've applied this flesh colored eyeliner from Stila. For my lips I take first a lip liner from NYX. I think it's a nude, and on top I put a lipstick, but I do not know what because I didn't film it. Yeah, but it's a kind of nude color, and that's the look. I hope you like it, and take care of yourself. Until next time. Mwah.